5 years ago, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made a choice that rocked the world. They walked away from the British monarchy, chasing freedom, independence, and a new kind of royal story. But was it a bold stand against tradition or a gamble that cost them everything? Today, they're more isolated than ever, cut off by the royal family, criticized by the media, and struggling to hold on to their Hollywood dreams. From explosive interviews to legal battles and whispers of divorce, their saga is a roller coaster of ambition, betrayal, and consequences. Let's dive into the twists and turns that have left Meghan and Harry on the outside, fighting to rewrite their narrative. It all started with a bombshell in January 2020. Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, took to Instagram to announce they were stepping back as senior royals. They had a vision, a progressive role where they could serve the crown, raise their son Archie away from the spotlight, and build financial independence in North America. It was a daring pitch, a modern monarchy blending duty with freedom. But the palace wasn't having it. Within days, Queen Elizabeth summoned them to Sandringham for a tense showdown. The couple's dream of a half-in, half-out role was crushed. They lost their HRH titles, Harry's military honors, and most critically, their taxpayer-funded security. The royal family saw their move as a betrayal, and the public was split. Some cheered their courage, others called it a tantrum. The stage was set for a family feud unlike any other. But what came next would shake the monarchy to its core. Enter Oprah Winfrey, March 2021. In a tell-all interview that gripped the globe, Meghan dropped a bombshell. A senior royal had raised concerns about how dark Archie's skin would be before he was born. The implication of racism sent shockwaves through Buckingham Palace and beyond. Meghan also revealed she'd been so overwhelmed during her pregnancy that she nearly ended her own life, feeling trapped and unsupported by the royal institution. Harry backed her up, painting a picture of a family steeped in unconscious bias, unwilling to protect his wife and child. He spoke of strained relationships with his father, King Charles, who he said stopped taking his calls, and a growing distance with his brother, Prince William. The interview was a cultural earthquake. Millions watched, social media erupted, and the palace issued a cryptic response. Recollections may vary. It was a polite way of saying they disagreed, but the damage was done. The world saw the royal family as cold, even prejudiced, and Harry and Meghan weren't done spilling secrets. By January 2023, Harry's memoir, Spare, turned the feud into a public spectacle. He didn't just open the curtain on royal life, he tore it down. The book detailed a shocking incident from 2019. William, furious over media reports calling Meghan difficult and rude, allegedly grabbed Harry's collar, broke his necklace, and knocked him to the floor in a heated argument. Harry also accused Charles and Camilla of leaking negative stories about him and Meghan to the press, a move he saw as sabotage. The memoir sold millions, but at a cost. Palace insiders said William was livid, not just at the personal betrayal, but at Harry's choice to air private grievances for profit. Charles, already grappling with health issues, reportedly sent Harry millions to ease their transition out of royal life, yet Harry painted a narrative of abandonment. The royal family's frustration boiled over. Harry had crossed a line, and Meghan was seen as the driving force behind his rebellion. But while Harry's words cut deep, Meghan's own star was starting to fade. Meghan's Hollywood glow, once dazzling, began to flicker. Her Archetypes podcast, launched to showcase empowering women's stories, was criticized as overly complex and unrelatable. High-profile guests like Mariah Carey and Paris Hilton passed on invites, and listeners found it hard to connect. Behind the scenes, staff painted a grimmer picture. Some described working with Meghan as a nightmare, with demands so intense that employees took leaves of absence or sought therapy. Her 2019 Vogue guest edit, once a celebrated moment, ended in a fallout with editor Edward Enninful, who reportedly tired of her controlling approach. British media, once charmed by her charisma, turned brutal. Outlets like the Daily Mail and The Sun now dissect her every move. Her as-ever lifestyle brand got lukewarm reviews, and a 2025 Instagram post about roses was mocked as a petty jab at Kate's charity rose launch. Polls reflect the shift. Only 20% of Britons view Meghan positively in 2025, down from 60% in 2019. Her charm, once a superpower, is losing its magic. But another battle was pulling Harry away from her spotlight. Harry's fight for security became a personal mission that deepened the royal rift. Since 2020, he's been locked in a legal war with the UK Home Office over their decision to downgrade his family's protection after stepping back as royals. Harry argued it's unsafe to bring Meghan, Archie, and Lilibet to the UK without proper security, pointing to ongoing threats and media intrusion. Court documents revealed Queen Elizabeth privately supported his need for protection, but the Government Security Committee overruled her. Harry lost an appeal in 2024, and by April 2025 he was back in court, accusing the Home Office of using security as a lever to control him. He believes it's a tactic to force him back into the royal fold on their terms. The battle has cost him millions and strained his ties with William, who sees it as another public jab at the institution. The palace's silence on the matter speaks volumes. And speaking of silence, William and Kate were about to make their stance crystal clear. By May 2025, Prince William and Kate drew a line in the sand. Meghan was out, permanently. Palace insiders revealed they'd banned her name from discussions, especially around Kate, who was recovering from cancer treatment and prioritizing her mental health. William's anger wasn't the shouting kind. It was cold, calculated, and final. He saw Meghan's media moves, from the Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan to Harry's May 2025 BBC interview airing more royal grievances, as direct threats to the monarchy's stability. The couple's response? Total disengagement. No calls. No texts, not even a polite nod at Christmas. Staff were under strict orders to avoid mentioning Meghan, and sources say the silence is driving her up the wall. Kate, who's faced immense stress, insisted on the boundary, not out of spite, but to protect her peace. William, stepping up as the monarchy's protector with Charles's health faltering, made it clear. Meghan's drama has no place in their world. But could Harry still find a way back? Harry's loyalty to Meghan has him walking a tightrope. Rumors of a split swirled in 2025 as he made solo appearances, from Invictus Games events to UK court hearings. A Vanity Fair article claimed Meghan's team floated a post-divorce book idea, exploring her life as a single royal, though no formal proposal existed. Meghan shut down the gossip in a 2025 podcast, calling Harry a great partner and their marriage forever. Yet signs of strain are hard to ignore. Harry's new commercial venture, separate from Meghan's as ever brand, suggests they're carving out distinct paths. The royal family holds a faint hope for Harry's return, but it comes with a steep price. No more public attacks. Palace sources say he's trapped. Defending Meghan means alienating his family, but stepping back risks unraveling the narrative they've built together. Their Archewell foundation, once a beacon of their vision, is faltering, with staff departures and reports of Meghan's demanding nature. The question lingers: can Harry break free, or is he too entangled? And that brings us to the cost of their choices. The price of Harry and Meghan's independence has been steep. 5 years after their exit, they're not just out of the royal fold, they're out of favor. Hollywood allies like Oprah and Enninful have distanced themselves, and British media, once enchanted, now report with brutal honesty. Ex-users mock Meghan's every move, from her rose posts to her Netflix show's lackluster debut. Their influence is waning, and doors that once swung open are now locked. The royal family, bruised but resilient, has moved on, with William and Kate leading a new era focused on duty, not drama. Charles, despite his health struggles, has made it clear the monarchy comes first. Harry and Meghan's story, once a fairy tale of breaking barriers, now carries a different label: opportunists who burned every bridge. There's a sadness beneath it all, a sense that a beloved prince and his bold wife could have been so much more. But the crown endures as it always has by cutting out chaos. And that's the heart of this saga. So, where does this leave Meghan and Harry? Their rebellion promised freedom, but it delivered isolation. The royal family's silence, led by William's iron will, has left them sidelined. They're Hollywood, dreams dented by criticism and fading alliances. Meghan's once inspiring story now faces accusations of manipulation, while Harry grapples with a legacy he can't fully escape. The monarchy marches on, prioritizing stability over personal feuds. Can Meghan and Harry rewrite their narrative, reclaim their spark, and prove their critics wrong? Or are they destined to remain royal outcasts, forever on the outside looking in? That's the question that lingers, long after the headlines fade. Drop your thoughts below. What do you think their next move should be? Can they turn it around, or is this the end of their royal story?